Hey folks, we're back again. We're going to take a look at the garden pond. It's time to kind of get this set up and going for the season. I've been working on it over the past couple of weeks and I wanted to shoot a video to tell you about it. Every year around this time, the interest in the original video for this, for me setting up the garden pond goes up and people want to see where it's at now. So that's what we're going to talk about today. It's all coming up right after this.
Hey YouTube, it's Kerrigan. I decided to help out Dad today by taking out some of these weird weeds that we got grown by the pond and getting a head start so we can get this thing looking beautiful. I literally have nothing else better to do, so woohoo! Well, this ant colony isn't too happy with me today. Sorry guys.
Okay, I haven't been to my local fish store in a long time, but I need some stuff today. I would like to get some more rocks to kind of help that 10-gallon out, and I need to get some lilies.
Lily!
Need to get some lilies for the pond. There isn't really anywhere like the aquarium to get those, so we're off for the first time in almost 2 months since I've been to the aquarium. Hopefully they're doing okay. So I'm going to go over there and with our mask and see if we can find some plants. Yeah, the pond's looking pretty good, but also pretty empty. I might keep that frog bit in there, but last year it took it over, so I don't know. What do you think, Tai Chi Gnome? What do you think, slightly faded but happy gnome?
I'm content.
What do you think, water pitcher gnome? He says nothing. What do you think, flying gnomes?
Whee!
You're useless! Oh, I hope they have some good plants.
1 pound.
1 pound. That's easy. Little tiny carnivorous plants. I don't think I have room in the top for any more of this sort of thing.
Maybe like a small piglets.
These are pretty, the flowers.
Oh, they are. Listen, blue eye grass.
Wow. Aztec arrow leaf. That looks pretty. A little bit of red color. Corkscrews. Scarlet Hibiscus. There's their bog filter, the one that inspired my pond. This is quite a bit bigger. So that's a pink sparkle?
Yeah, and it's one of the hardy water lilies, so all of the hardies will have a smooth edge right here. They won't have scalloping. The tropicals, like some of the ones down here, I can show you in just a second, they have scalloped edges on their leaves, and that's a big indicator of tropical versus hardy.
This could possibly come back next year, maybe.
It should come back next year. It should come back next year and the year after that.
Wow, thanks.
No problem.
It's a gnome.
Oh, it's tempting. It's tempting.
Get away.
You want to grab those, sweetie?
No. Not particularly.
You do. Look at beautiful hair. No, he also gave us what, some tabs to put in there too?
Yes, some fertilizer tabs for the lily.
So how often do we put those in?
Well, they said on the directions it says once every other month, but once a month is what we're gonna do.
All right.
So we're ready.
I guess we'll see if it works.
Yes.
Unwrap it.
Can we go ahead and set this in here?
Yeah, go ahead and put one in. Let's get it started. Pull out that crud out of the middle.
They can't help it. Want me to throw it in the pond?
No, just throw the rocks on the side here. Yeah. I don't want this in the pond. What do you want to do? Just throw it in the pond.
Alright, I'm going to submerge this puppy in here. Important thing with these is if you ever get any like fertilizer tablets, do not just stick them straight into your pond, because that's a good way to get an algae bloom.
Is it not just, did you get it down into the substrate?
Yes. I am a professional.
It's gonna storm any minute. Some of these clouds are quite menacing. We need to hurry.
Get to hurry!
There's no scientific name on here or anything. Okay.
Alright, where are we dropping?
I guess let's put it like right towards the back, kind of under the spout a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna go
around this way.
towards the spout. You see it?
I'll kind of help you on this side if you want.
I can get it if you want.
Okay, I'll make sure you don't fall in. Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Alright. Plenty of room to thrive. Spread out these.
These kind of going the right way.
Bit.
Guess they'll find their way up, right?
Yeah, they will.
Oh. Now in terms of fish, I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do. I usually will throw a male and female Inler in there and let them make lots of babies. It's interesting because it could be a good potential breeding thing. I've tried to put bettas in there, and it's never worked out. They just kind of disappear. My feeling is that it's real easy for birds to get over here and eat, and I don't want to net it off, you know, because it's unattractive. So maybe if I get a lot of overgrowth in the pond or something, maybe I'll add some a male and female betta in there and see if I could breed those. I think that would be really neat to be able to breed them right here in the pond. The Inlers tend to do okay. I think they're small and quick enough to avoid getting eaten by birds. But I find that I don't have a lot of places to put them unless I want like a really nutritious meal for Mr. Tubes. Usually I keep the prettier males, and you know, a percentage of the females get maybe sacrificed to something that eats them or given away to a friend. We've had a few crazy weather fluctuations, so I'm not exactly sure what I can get away with as far as tropical fish in here through the summer. It does get quite hot, so maybe in a week or two it might be safe to add some of the warmer climate type fish in here. I need to, if I do breed something in here, it needs to be something I'm willing to bring inside and put in my tanks too. But for now, that remains to be seen. If you've got a suggestion, be sure to leave it in the comments down below. So I apologize, I hope the sound's okay. It's really hard to film here during the day. It's about to storm, it's a little windy. I got my dead cat on the microphone, but let's see if it works. I was really slow to do anything. Like I usually do an end of the year video where I kind of take it apart and clean it. That didn't really happen this year. And in fact, I kind of just left everything and let it set all through the winter and didn't really do anything to it at all. We had a very mild winter though. When I left it last year, it was covered in frog bit, and it actually covered the entire surface of the pond. The whole thing eventually by the end of the season was covered in frog bit. So unfortunately with the pitcher plant, I kind of let it go a little too long, and the pods came up before I had a chance to trim up the dead pitchers and stuff at the end of the season. Really what you should do is when everything starts to die off, just clear cut it, like cut all those dead pitcher polyp, whatever you call it, the little things that come up and catch the bugs. Cut all that off and just throw it aside, because what's going to happen is you're going to end up with a bunch of pods coming up, and you don't want to cut the pods and the new growth when everything starts to grow back in. I didn't do that, so I spent probably an hour or two like cutting around the new growth and the pods and stuff like that, just trying to get all those dead ones out. But I did eventually clean it all out, and it looks a lot better. Looks a lot better now, and now I've started to get new growth, and they are just starting to open up. Like they just opened up the other day, and starting to look great again. I mean, that is a really cool plant. I think it's about, I'd say almost 3 years now in the running, and still looking really, really good. I'm very happy with it. The other plant I think I added last year or the year before that, that's sitting in front of it, it too overwintered and did really good. It's growing pretty big. It's starting to kind of combine with the pitcher plant a little bit, so I'm hoping that's okay. I did add a little bit of frog bit. Goes the wind. I actually shot this video at night too, so I probably will have to go back and forth between the two. I wasn't super happy with that video, but with all the wind, it's about to storm. It's literally about to storm here, and it's getting really windy. So although the frog bit grew quite a bit and kind of covered everything up, I kind of vowed to keep that in control this year, and I've added a little bit back, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it this time. Last time it went right up the waterfall. I climbed up some other plants and started going around inside of the bog filter too. It turned completely terrestrial. Left on its own, frog bit will do that. It will grow in like a damp environment, like over sand or something like that, and it's quite pervasive. But that being said, it's also a very effective plant for keeping algae under control. Algae's been a real issue with this. We also added, of course, the lily pad, which is going to help add some shade inside of there. I love the growth that I've gotten in a lot of the plants, like outside of the pond, like all the other stuff we see there, especially my tree. I'm so happy with how well the tree's grown and how well it's doing right now. We went through, and Kerrigan especially went through and pull a bunch of weeds and kind of took care of it in there, and thank you very much, Kerrigan. It's been great having her at home, by the way. She came home for spring break and never returned. The next video I'm going to do is the Scraping for Scraps video. That, of course, is the challenge that Rachel O'Leary put out for all of us out there on the internet. And we're going to take things like things we already have and implement them into an aquascape without buying new stuff and using hopefully previously used stuff, but it's going to have to be a mix for me. But I'm still working on that video. It's going to take me a little while to put it together, but that should be this Sunday's video. Please, please, please come back, tune in for that. The Scraping with Scraps thing is completely unexpected. I'm adding another tank that I did not expect to add. But I'll be taking down one to add another one, and I think it's going to be cool. I'm going to try something I've never tried before. I probably will fail outright. It'll be funny if I do, or for some of you. But if it looks good, it'll be really neat. And I've never tried it before. I'll leave that as a surprise for Sunday. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please be sure to hit subscribe and the bell so you're notified when I go live or do something crazy. But a huge thank you to my Patreon subscribers. You guys are the reason there's a lily pad in here. The only reason I could go to my local fish store and spend a little extra money to put some plants in here. Right now I'm saving up to replace a couple of pieces of equipment, most notably my laptop, which I need like $600 to fix. My screen went completely blank and I'm working on a kind of an old computer, which works, but not great. So you guys pitching in has really helped me, really made it possible, and I can't thank you enough. So it's completely gonna rain here. I mean, the wind's blowing. I'm talking in between wind gusts. It's gonna rain here any second, so I'm gonna wrap this up right now. Until we meet again, follow your bliss, keep a clean tank or pond, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Last time it literally went up the waterfall. Hey folks, we've had some kind of crazy weather fluctuation. We need to hurry.
Get to hurry.
I can't get off my phone.
Give me the key, or the keys.
That is not a key.
Give me the whatever these are, scissors.